Well, welcome back everybody. My name's Andrew and you're watching the Kelley's Country Life. So, we've got a little bit of stuff to talk about. I just had what I'll call a courtesy inspection from the inspector. Long story short, y'all know that we've been talking about doing a loft, and I had the questions about the sheathing. So he and I were talking back and forth this morning. He said, you know what, I have a slow day. Let me just come out. I said, that would actually be great. You haven't been to the house in so long. I want you to look around anyways. And he found a few things. So real quick, we're not getting to sheathing today anyways. Check this out. Here it is this morning. I'm already hearing thunder in the distance. The radar's blowing up. It's not looking promising this entire week for sheathing. We're gonna try to get some stuff done. I'm gonna talk for quite a bit. So let's talk. It's like you're here with me. Y'all, I'm sure y'all wanna hear some stuff about the house, and we may try to get some work done today on this episode as well, but I wanna fill y'all in on everything. So where do we begin? I guess let's just go ahead and dive into the bad news. All right, so here we are in the loft. Let's just go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room here. So long story short, these codes are difficult to interpret, even at times for the architect, the engineer, and the inspector. So we're in one of those situations right now. We have talked already to you about doing this loft space. The architect crunched some numbers, looked at some of the head height code rules and said, looks like you can for sure do this size room. So we went ahead and did the 12-inch on center spacing, beefed it up so we could keep moving along and try to get the walls up and work toward drying the house in. Well, I was talking with the inspector this morning about that, sent him the plans over. He got to looking at everything. He says, I really think I just need to come out there and measure. So that's what he did. He come on out. So, great, let's look around anyways. So he come out and measured and then proceeded to explain his interpretation of the rule to me. That's where things get a little complicated. If you look at what I have right here, I have tons of room. It's over 8 foot to the peak right here. I can walk a long ways before I ever bump my head. So to you and I, that leaves plenty of head height room. I can easily make this work for, that loft and office. This is where the head height bump rule, I kid you not, they don't want you to bump your head should you have to tear out of the room. This is where it gets really complicated. The head height rule doesn't care necessarily about ceiling height, although it does. It also cares about this truss back here. So now we technically have to take measurements off of that truss. And as you can see, that just discounted a lot of head height room. Even though we were going to enter with stairs right here and have plenty of walkway to come through, you have to take in consideration any low point of the room. This is where it gets really, really complicated. There is different rules for habitable space. There's different rules for the lofts. There's different rules for attic space. This can be configured in any one of those ways depending on how it falls into the code. So he's went back, he's gonna look at a few more things, but right now, he's not feeling super confident about the head height room as far as making this a full-on living space. We're okay with that. Again, we kind of wanted office more than anything. I really need a YouTube office. So however this falls out is perfectly okay. I do want to let y'all know we can make something of this space. It was not wasted to do 12-inch on center. So absolute worst case scenario is we have an open loft up here with railing. Can still put a desk up here is my understanding. Just may have to access it from an attic ladder. Believe it or not, access is what changes the space, as crazy as that is. Then there is the loft rules. That would just be attic space. This would be an open, we could say it's air conditioned attic storage or an open loft for decorations for downstairs. And again, I can even put a desk up here. Now, if you want to provide access from outside, there's a middle ground. There's what's called a loft access, and you can do certain types of ladders and access for that. Then there's the full-on access with full-on stairs, everything. That's wild to me. That blows my mind that this space can qualify for up to 3 different known spaces. It may qualify for more. I can't interpret the code the way the inspector can, the architect and all them. I'm gonna let them do their thing, but the plan moving forward right now is we're not gonna let this hold us up. We're not gonna let this get us down. It is what it is. Sounds like we can make usable space no matter what out of this. We're gonna eventually put our walls up, put our railing up as planned, and whatever access is provided to this space, that's what we're going to move forward with. We'll worry about that down the road. I don't care how long it takes. At least I know I can wall off this space, sheetrock, run my AC ductwork, hide my wiring, do everything as needed. Access just may change down the road. So it is what it is. We're going to make the best of this situation. So don't worry about that. Just want to let y'all know there's some uncertainties here because of literally a bump your head rule. And this truss is really messing me up. Who would have thought? Holy cow. Look at this. Woo! This ain't good. Back now after a heck of a sideways rain just blew in here. Woo, good thing I got the plastic up. I mean, it blew under the porch and everywhere. That's why it's going to be such a tough week to even attempt sheathing. We may have to continue to knock out inside stuff, but I'll keep an eye on the weather. So where were we? In the room, in the bedroom, we have an issue. This is my mess up right here. I wasn't thinking. The plans called for a very large window here, which we thought looked hideous. Who wants a super low window in a bedroom to where you can't put a headboard, nightstand, nothing? Now the plan is to put the bed over here, but we wanted to have the ability in a room to put headboard anywhere that we wanted. Well, for egress issues, that window will not qualify, even though it looks huge to me. We now have to put in a much larger window that comes all the way down to here. I'm praying I can return this window. I bought them because they were so hard to find a while back. I think I'm outside the return window, but I'm going to try. I need to go get a larger one, so that's probably what I'm going to do tomorrow. Luckily, this change is going to be easy. I don't have to tear the wall out. I don't have to do anything other than knock this plate up. Very simple. And all these cripples right here, whatever the new window size is, I'll cut them because it's going to be the same width. We're just going to have a much larger window. I guess that's so you can easily crawl out in the event of a fire. If I had a fire, I'm diving out there. But you got to think, what if you were disabled, something happened? I guess that's why they want a much lower window for you to get out. I asked if we could put another door in the room and that count as egress, and was told, nope, you got to have access to the outside. So either a door has to be here, which we're absolutely not doing in a bedroom, or a bigger window. So we got a little bit of rework to do, and I'm glad he came over and caught that now, because I was just about to sheathe the outside at some point this week. That would have been bad. That would have been really bad. So how did the rest of the inspection go? Decent. He gave me a lot of wiring tips. We talked about the path moving forward, the plan. Can't remember if I already mentioned it since it's been so long since we started this video. He gave me permission to go ahead and kind of do my sheathing in stages. He's going to come out and do some inspections. We have other ways of covering me, so to speak. He completely understands with the weather forecast the way it is, I don't need OSB getting wet every single day. Now, he gave me some tips on that. Not only is he going to be very specific about the nail pattern, 4 inches on edges, 8 inch out in the field, a lot of nails. He is very specific about overdriven nails. So I couldn't have built, I've got my new device back up there now where I can regulate pressure. I couldn't have built that at a better time. He says they can be sunk no more than 10%. He prefers for them to be perfectly flush. That is something they absolutely look at, so you don't drive all the way through the sheathing and guess what? It's no longer holding because your nail's driven all the way into the stud. What else was there? There was a couple of things. I have to go back to my little list that he gave me. As far as looking at the rest of the house, he was impressed. He said that's, you know, a lot of work to do by yourself. It looks extremely sturdy, extremely well built. Even said overbuilt. We already all know that. I've got to follow some plans and I overbuilt some of the stuff. So what else do we have? Man, oh man, the radar's not looking good at all. So we better do some more inside work, at least for today. Now I've got to go back to Lowe's tomorrow for windows. Got to tear all that out and get that fixed before we can do sheathing. So a little bit of a setback. Definitely can't sheathe tomorrow. I'm not sheathing today because the radar looks so bad. I already see some work we can do. So I've got a lot of 2x8 scrap lumber left. Remember, I knocked a lot of it out up here to put the joist 12-inch on center. I want to come back and put my nailers there. Might as well, even though they're technically not needed. I already have them here. I just want to give the sheetrock guys all the edge that they could possibly want to screw to, even though it's technically, yes, I understand, not needed. Got the scrap lumber. I'm already overbuilding everything. Let's keep overbuilding. Also, I've got some lumber to tie in the corners right here for sheetrock nailers over here. We can go ahead and knock some of that out. He did not say or have an issue with the way I'm doing some sheetrock tie-ins right here. Typically, you'd put 2 studs this direction, but hey, I'm still leaving plenty of room here. The sheetrock's not super structural stuff anyways, although yes, it does help. On the tops of all these walls, see there is nowhere to screw to for sheetrock. I need to put some, what I keep calling nailers up there, on this wall, that wall. Actually, there's quite a bit of work to do now that I'm looking. This wall over here. So this is all kinds of stuff we can knock out this week while it's raining. I need to get it off of my list anyways. Oh yeah, one more thing. Since y'all know I love to overbuild and overdo everything, I am going to double up studs right here. This wall is a load-bearing wall sitting on a footer, and thank goodness it's built the way that it is since we decided to add storage upstairs. I think I want to double up these studs. I bought some more 2x4 since they're cheap, even though the wall's technically already supported to handle a live and dead weight upstairs. But every stud where I'm 12-inch on center, I think I'm just going to double them up to really beef up that double top plate right there. I had one person ask why were my studs not lined up with every joist. Well, 24-inch on center originally was a plane upstairs, 16 here, so they don't always line up. And that's one reason we did the double top plates. It is very hard to put any sort of flex in a double top plate with no more spacing than you see right there. And now I'm about to beef it up even more because overbuilding is what I do, apparently. So much talking. Let's get to work. The reason I'm going ahead and driving nails in down here is to make more room. Because I've got such tight room up there, I can barely get a little palm nailer on and drive them in. You'll see them. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Thunder and lightning. That doesn't look good either. Might be time to put the tools up really quick. I've had to cover them up several times today due to some rain. So I'm knocking off a bit early. Well, I say it's early. It's 5 something, 6 o'clock. I'm not real sure. It wasn't a super productive day because we spent the entire morning back and forth with the inspector and then over here in person. So it is what it is. What did we get done today? We got the rest of the drywall nailers up on the center wall. As you've seen, I just started putting drywall nailers up for the bathroom and kitchen tops there. We got another board put down for the shower. Just sturdy that up even more. Put some more drywall nailers in here. Like I said, this whole lip up there now is ready to go. I'm gonna have to continue to work through the house. It's something I can do while it's rainy and nasty. But tomorrow I have got to go try to find a window. I'm already struggling. Lowe's is showing sold out, no delivery available. Looks like we're back in a window crunch. I'm gonna run around a big city tomorrow trying to find me an egress window for there. Looks like I may have to go with a narrow one. We'll discuss that in the next episode. So, not gonna be a super productive day tomorrow either with all the morning running around that I'm gonna have to do. Got to get some wood for trimming out for the sheathing, and it's probably gonna be a question, why don't you go ahead and start sheathing the porch? I'm still doing a little mold and mildew cleanup there because the plan was to sheathe the outside, and that's what I've been working on the last many days. Probably gonna do a little cleanup this afternoon as soon as I cut this camera off. So something's coming up. If it's gonna keep blowing sideways rain, we might as well keep knocking stuff out on the inside, and we may move over to sheathing here if no forecast looks like we can get on the outside stuff. So it is what it is. I don't really know what the next episodes will bring, but we will be working on the house. So today was a setback. We're gonna have many more with the house. That's the way it goes. Ouch, it hurts, but it is what it is. We're just gonna keep moving forward, get this house built. And again, don't worry about the loft situation. We've got that handled. I mean, it is what it is. We've got to do what the inspector says. So with that said, thank y'all so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next video.